Yeah, what's happening?
Yes.
You will? You'll come on?
Someone else brought this up.
I know.
Yes.
June's going to be in New York because she's doing a play, so I'm just going to have to steal you for a Saturday. They'll give up a week of your
well, sure.
Of your show?
Not?
Sure.
Welcome, Scarlett. What pulled you toward a character so far removed from the roles you've tackled as an actress?
I'm like, is Eleanor so far from the roles that I've tackled as an actor? I don't know necessarily.
I don't know.
I mean, I had such empathy for that character. I mean, I would have played her.
Yeah.
For sure. I tried to, but it was, there was a conflict of interest. I mean, I think I had such empathy for all of the characters in the film, and really, it's such a rare thing to get a script sent to you that's a little, jewel like this one was. It really so rarely happens, and there were just enough elements to it. Of course, with June attached to play Eleanor, and the possibility of, of what it could be. I just thought it felt kind of kismet and like an opportunity I couldn't really pass up. But I think even in the roles that I've done, in more recent years or whatever, you have to have empathy for the characters that you play, and certainly I think my responsibility as a director is not to judge any of the characters in the film, and have compassion for them, and no matter what the circumstances are, and hopefully the audience has that same experience.
So for the three actors here, beginning with June, how would you describe Scarlett as a director?
Oh God.
As a director.
Oh no.
She's a really good director, and I keep saying if she wants to direct more, she certainly should and will, I think. And she has great decisive powers. She decides immediately on things, and that's a big help to the actor, I think. And her ability to let you sort of do your work. That's really, that's such a joy to work with that. The feeling that you're not pushed, that someone knows where you're going and what you're doing. All of those things.
I think she's extremely sorry. I think she's extremely considerate and patient and communicative, understanding. I think all of the best qualities that you could possibly imagine in a director. That's what Scarlett is.
This is torturous.
Sorry. I'll stop.
I agree with everything everybody said.
Thank you.
A great communicator, actually, and made it an absolute pleasure.
For all of you, the film is deeply rooted in questions of aging, grief, and reinvention. Was there a personal connection that you were able to draw upon?
Who is going to answer? I'm happy to start if you want. I think for me, it was. I definitely felt like I wanted to connect to things that I really existed through, and circumstances that I've had, especially in connection to grief. And grief is something that everybody deals with in their own way, and this film really looks at that from a few different perspectives. I was also very just sort of emotionally connected to this idea of talking about grief in the context of friendship as well, and as well as family. So and just how meaningful that is, and how rare that is to discuss sometimes. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I certainly understood. I don't think I could have directed it if I couldn't understand where each one of these characters is coming from. I again had such empathy for each person, and I think they don't. You don't certainly you're like a sum of all your parts, and the characters are complex, and they, I think, aren't necessarily, they're not choosing to, isolate one another, or not choosing to harm anyone, or, their behaviors, I think, come from their feelings of isolation and loneliness, and the need to connect with another person, or their fear maybe of opening up and connecting to another person. And I certainly can relate to those feelings too. Throughout times in my life, definitely.
I don't think I necessarily pulled from any specific person or feeling myself. Like Scarlett said, I think you have to be able to understand what that feels like to then play that, I think, especially like the grief side of things. But it just felt like the environment that we had on set allowed us all to kind of get into our character. Well, definitely for me anyway, allowed me to get into my character as Nina rather than having to pull from personal experiences.
Yeah, I think I used, who I am and what I know and what I don't know. And I think that I loved her mostly because you saw her dark side and a not very attractive side. And I think that is so real and so human. And that's one thing that I felt, and I feel that's what I am too. I mean, that it's not all positive. So, yeah, I used myself, but there was a great feeling for her from reading it.
Female-led dramas about older women are rare in the U.S. market. Was part of your mission, Scarlett, to prove there's an audience for stories often sidelined by Hollywood?
I don't know that I had a particular mission in choosing this project, other than really the love of movies that are character-driven, portraits of people that are, complicated, and I don't feel all movies have to deliver a message, to kind of get the point across. I think people can live inside the film and take away what they do. Just being able to sit in somebody else's, walk in somebody else's shoes for an hour and 40 minutes, And, I really wanted the opportunity to work with June and get to, get to direct her as, and kind of, experience her discovering the character, and help her to hopefully understand elements of the character on a deeper level, try to give whatever information I could to all of the actors to help them to have their own, just make their own discoveries, that's what I was excited about. And then certainly you try to make a film that is, when I put the film together, of course, I want to make a film that is that you feel the audience, it's not a movie for just me, of course. I think about the audience that's watching it and what their experience is going to be, and how the film will, how it moves kind of through them as they watch it. I try to be very mindful about that, even when I'm, sometimes letting go of some moments that I am precious about. But I think, the audience doesn't. They're going to tire of this. They need to move off of this, or the pace needs to quicken in these areas, or they need a break, they need a breath, or, you start to think about the film in a different way, in like a universal way, as opposed to just how you want to see it, Yeah.
Who are some of the directors that you learned the most from, who you worked with previously?
Definitely. A lot of them are actors that are, that are also directors. Certainly Redford at a very young age, watching him or just experiencing him as my director was really, it was transformative for me. Making The Horse Whisperer with him, I actually understood, oh yeah, this is like a job. And I'm not just kind of, I mean, I think for kid actors, there's like a moment where you go from being a kid actor to being like an actor, where you start to understand the work, that it's work. And that's when it kind of sparks, I think. So I certainly had that experience with him where I understood I was getting so much more from him as an actor. He was so supportive of this discovery that I was, mentioning, and it was really so transformative. So certainly Redford, I think Jon Favreau, Noah, Spike, I think directors that all have that encourage that discovery process, and also have a, great leadership qualities on set too. That's really important. The most important,
You famously stood up to Disney to get your contractual, what was yours on Black Widow. Did making Eleanor the Great feel like reclaiming some power from the studio system?
I don't know. I'm not sure I can like totally make the connection, but I don't think so. I mean, I think I was really fortunate early on to have great producing partners. And certainly having Sony Pictures Classics come out on for distribution was wonderful. And, that studio is run by film lovers, and they make amazing, some of my favorite films of all time, have been either made or distributed by Sony Pictures Classics. So I kind of got spoiled. Also working with Nicole Brown at TriStar was wonderful, and she was an incredible executive. So I don't know, I think it's, I think that what you're describing, my that instance was really it was a business affairs issue, and it was resolved. And of course, it's a time of transition. It was certainly then, as we all tried to understand how this shifting model would work. So, luckily I could shoulder the burden of that, and hopefully it's better for everyone because of it. So that's a good thing.
Did pulling this movie off so exquisitely make you think differently about the kinds of projects, both as an actress and director, you want to pursue in this next phase of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's funny, I just saw Bill Meadsey out there. We were talking about this, but it's like, I think just also as you've worked for a long time, and I'm sure June may feel this way as well, but you just you become, and Chiwetel and Erin eventually, but you I think just get more, you become just a little, you understand better how you want to spend your time, I think, and what projects you want to give your time to, because your time has a different kind of value as you get older. You've children, you've had a lot of different kinds of experiences, and you kind of know what you want and what you don't want out of those experiences. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you end up on set questioning every decision you made in your life that got you there,
Why am I here?
Yeah, what am I doing here? But it's lesser and lesser, I feel, which is good.
June, what was Scarlett's pitch to you when she came to you to star?
There was no pitch, I don't think.
No, you were attached to
Yeah, I was attached to it first.
Oh.
Before Scarlett came on. But you could have said, no, I don't want her, and I'm sure they...
That would have been insane.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that it was her choice, really, and we had that Zoom meeting, and that was it. I felt, well, I think that she and I could really work well together, and wanted to do it with her.
But you had had the script for about 4 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. I had it quite a while.
And Erin, did she have a pitch for you, or were you?
I don't think it was necessarily a pitch. Like, I just really wanted to do it, and I was waiting for Scarlett to say yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a pitch. I read the script and I was just like, I have to. And then it was just audition process. Yeah, which I feel like I fucked up on actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Well, clearly not.
Oh yeah, well it worked out, but I think.
Oh wait, something happened to you
Yeah,
though.
yeah. No, I thought it was the day after, and so I learnt my lines in the waiting room of the Zoom. I think I had learnt like 6 pages in 4 minutes. It was crazy. I was like scrambling. And then you gave me another call back after that because you clearly were like, this girl does not know her lines.
No, that's not the case.
But yeah, no, I wanted to do it. There was no pitch.
My final fun question, Scarlett. Given that you have some connections with Saturday Night Live, could you get June to perhaps host?
Yeah, what's happening?
Yes.
You will? You'll come on?
Someone else brought this up.
I know.
Yes.
June's going to be in New York because she's doing a play, so I'm just going to have to steal you for a Saturday. They'll give up a week of your
Well, sure.
of your
why
show.
not?
Sure.
But no, that would be very exciting. If you were there beside me the whole time.
Oh, now I'm getting roped in? No
Yes.
way.
Co-host.
Yeah, we can co-host. We could do the weekend update together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom would like that.
Chiwetel's like, no.
I think it would work.
All right. Thank you all for coming to the
Thanks.
Variety Studio.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.